Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to yet another Track Time Community Race, and here it is. It's the grand finale of Season 2. The hype's been building. It's been 13 weeks in the making, and boy, have we got a race for you today. We are here with the Seat Leon touring cars at Zandvoort, a beautiful circuit in the Netherlands, 4.3 kilometers long, 14 corners. Fantastic camber in some of these corners. We're using the old style circuit, not the new F1 crazy one. And for this special finale episode of this season, we've got a three-man commentary team. We've got Tom and Spitslam in the commentary booth. We'll be throwing Spitslam through the race, and Tom will be joining me for some of the race commentary. How are you both doing, boys? Don't all speak at once, it's all right.
I want Tom to go first.
Yeah, I realised I started talking about mic muted, so I gave a little spiel there, and I looked up and saw a red light on my mic, so it wasn't activated. Yeah, I'm good.
And Spitslam, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm fine as well. Let's get this show started.
Yeah, we've got a good, hopefully a good race tonight. Hopefully something clean. Hopefully some a nice finale to this season. We've had some fantastic racing all through this season, and of course at the head of the championship we've got a titanic battle. Max Newt 7, the man on your screen at the minute, in the Max Newt 7 livery. We've got custom liveries made for 4 of the drivers, but I'll go through that some point soon. But yeah, Max at the head of the championship, leading Ryan Skywalker by a minimal amount of points, and Ryan coming into this race weekend could potentially clinch victory in the championship. But it's certainly, I'd say certainly Max is the favourite. He's got one hand on the trophy right now. He's a very fast driver, and he's barely slipped up all season. He's only started to falter coming into these last few races of the season. That's allowed Ryan to come back into it. But we know what kind of driver Ryan's like, and we know that he'll have the bit between his teeth. So we'll see what kind of chaos can get thrown up. So with that kind of championship chat out of the way, obviously we've got Henry Comsey and Michelle Rodriguez also involved in their battle for third. But yeah, we'll focus at the head for now. Seat Leon touring cars, Tom. What do you think this race is going to give us?
Well, for starters, what we've got to look at it. It's a track title race, so it's going to be carnage. It's touring cars, so it's going to be double carnage. It's at Zolder, it's going to be triple carnage.
It's at Zandvoort.
Zandvoort. Starts with a Z, same thing, you know.
It's another Benelux Z track. But yeah, exactly. A crazy circuit. And as you can see, on the old style layout, without the big bank corners and with the unforgiving gravel on the exit. And, well, I think it's time for a hot lap. So, Tom, take it away.
Well, this isn't going to be the hottest of laps. It's actually did, in fact, dropping into the gravel in the final corner. You can see him here braking around the 94, getting on down all the way down to second gear here. He's got it done well to keep into the apex. He's probably apexed a bit too early, though. Second gear, just quickly changing back around, using the fast flow sensitivity. You don't want to be getting on the curbs here like that because it really unsettles the car, just as you see there. And he's off the track, and that's this lap definitely in the bin. And it looks like he's sort of pulled out a bit. He's not really trying here before, just because of how slow you have to go around the corners of these cars. The drivers were saying earlier that you have a lot of torques here, which can make it quite difficult to get through some of the slower corners. We've got this corner here, I think this is turn 6 or 7, where it's just a long sweeping riding. Max has been complaining about getting the car turned in with that, and as you see there, he's just watching wide, going really wide, which isn't going to help his time here, especially, I think it's definitely just another lap, just try and get a bit better feel of the car again. Can use a lot of the corner on the way in there as he locks up into this one, runs slightly past the apex again, but he's just keeping it on the track this time. Bringing it back round, I do have to admit, I don't really know many of the corner names. By many, I mean I know none of the corner names here, but I'm just going to commentate on what I'm seeing. Into the final chicaneable section, braking about the 75 board, going all the way down to second gear, usually a bit of the curb on the inside and on the right, then a bit of the curb again on the left to help pull the car around, stamp on the throttle now as we go into the long sweeping right-hander. There's also this older version, it's a bit tighter of a turn in, it does open up, there we go, he's got the open up now, he's going to go for a good old run into his second lap. He's going, well, he doesn't have to have a little lift there, he doesn't quite have the downforce of these things that are keeping on the track. There we go, coming out of the final corner, doing 191 kilometers an hour, and getting this all the way up to peaks of 232 from getting on the brakes again for turn 1, and he's locked the brakes and maybe shut the corner a bit.
Well, that was I mean, we go to Max Newt for a hot lap because we think we can trust him, but then he goes and puts it into the gravel halfway around. But still, looks like he's on a bit of a flyer now. He was on a decent lap before. As you can see by the timing tower, he's currently sat 3rd. But that's, well, that's 5/10 off Ryan Skywalker, the man that he needs to beat today. Peter Jones, a new driver to the Track Titan Community Race Series, up in 2nd position right now, doing very well in his first qualifying session. Henry Comsey, the man in 3rd, the championship in 4th, and Michelle Rodriguez in 5th. So without Peter Jones there, and with Ryan and Max switched around, that would be the current championship standings. But I mean, I could say if this is if that, and it doesn't make much of a difference. But still, the drivers clocking in their kind of times through the qualifying session. We've got Trzelski making a return this week, down in 10th position right now. Christopher Suski coming into the series. Little Skittle here, of course, and then El Ripo Smells Like Weed, Keith Holt, Dennis Bosman, all regulars of the series, so we can expect some decent racing by the look of it. Diogo Texeira's back, and Le Bondit, Alex Heller, is here to make some chaos, I'm sure.
As I say, you can say whatever you want about the standings, but the script of racing writes itself.
It certainly does, and I'm sure it will today. And well, on a track like this, it's not a super wide track, is it? I'm not sure overtaking is going to be too easy.
No, but I think you get the benefit of these cars not being overly dependent on downforce. Of course, they do have quite a bit of aero on them compared to a standard road car. So in a tighter track like this, it will mean it's a bit easier to get through than if you're an aero machine. But as you're seeing there, Max Snoop really struggling to get his braking for turn 1 sorted.
Yeah, he's really struggling with that corner. I think a lot of drivers are struggling with that corner. They were complaining about a bit of oversteer going into some of the corners as well, which is surprising considering it's a front-wheel drive car. But I think when they're set up to race, they drive quite different to what you'd normally expect from a front-wheel drive car, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I don't know who you've been talking to, because everyone I've been talking to has been complaining of understeers.
I've been talking to the racing gods.
Have you?
Yeah, never mind then. Well, we'll see how the drivers fare. Yeah, we'll see how the drivers fare. I do want to get onto these fantastic liveries that have been provided by Ryan Skywalker this week, and I'm giving a little showcase here to the Max Newt 7 livery. It's a fantastic thing. Finnish flags, Pingu faces all over. Ryan Skywalker bringing himself a lovely livery there. HeyBigBoy.com with the Star Wars liveried Skywalker Monster Energy. It's absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, Henry Comsey, 3rd position with the Saudi. It's the Seat Audi, based on the classic Audi touring car, a favourite car of Henry Comsey's, and he specifically requested that he wanted this livery on his car, even though it's a Seat, which Ryan was endlessly entertained about, but it does look very good. The Iceman himself. And then lastly, Michelle Rodriguez with the last of the custom skins, with this beautiful like dark mode, dark blue and black livery for himself there, with a what is that, a wolf on the side? A wolf and a full moon? Not sure what the significance is there, but it does look fantastic, and there are some other custom liveries on the track that we will see from the other drivers, but that's the main 4, and that's going to really help us to distinguish them when it comes to the racing. 50...
Yeah,
go ahead. No?
Yeah, of course, there is a few situations where some drivers, other drivers could end up running those skins just by which ones they've selected, so it displays it for us. So we'll have
There
to
shouldn't
pay
be.
close attention to that. Is it not?
There shouldn't be. No, they've excluded this is exclusive skins. I've set up the server custom for them. These should be the only drivers on track with those skins.
Oh, really pushing the boat out.
Anything for the Track Titan Community Race Series. We haven't heard much of Spit Slam in the corner. I haven't really thrown to you there, mate. What are you making of this qualifying? And more importantly, I'm going to have to ask you this before qualifying finishes. Who's going to be in first by the first corner?
I'm going to say Peter Jones, and I also have a question for Tom. Do you somehow know this guy, or just the last name similar?
Just because we have the same surname.
Yeah, I know. Just asking.
Any relations with that?
No, I'm just asking. I'm curious. I'm a curious person.
No.
Definitely.
No relation. But what I will say is Max Newt, I think, has gone purple through, I think it was the 1st or 2nd sector. So he's putting in a good lap here, so we could be seeing him really trying to take the pole position on the final shout now. The checkered flag has flown. Nobody else is really going to be able to get a new lap in, so it's a final try to get a good lap there. So Max Newt takes second place with that lap.
Wow, Max Newt 7 taking the fight to Ryan Skywalker, not making it easy for Michelle Rodriguez pulling into the pits. El Ripo coming across the line. He's in 10th position now. Is he going to improve on his lap time towards the end of this qualifying? He's not. He's well off the pace there. Ryan Skywalker, can he improve on his time? He's not. He's pulling into the pits. Everyone being very boring. The one man I think could upset things is not going to, because that's a slow lap time for Henry Comsey there. He's really struggled on that last lap. So some disappointing last laps for the drivers there, and they end up filtering across the line fairly monotonously, and Ryan Skywalker claims pole position, and that's exactly where he needs to start this race. The maths are Ryan needs to win both races. Max needs to finish. Max could finish second in one race. As long as he finishes below second in the other race, then Ryan wins. But either which way, Ryan needs to win both races today.
Yes, of course, Ryan has to win both. I've done the calculations. I think if somehow Max Newt scores no points in either, I think Ryan can get second place. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong, but yeah, it's everything for Ryan. It's all on the line for him. So you think this is a safe bet for Max Newt? Take no overt risks and just get the car to the finish in second. You know you've got the pace. Just get the job done. But with Peter Jones coming in as a bit of a wild card, this could throw in some troubles for them.
Yeah, even more of a wild card for right now is Assetto Corsa, which seems to be wanting to play up and does not seem to want to put them on the grid.
Classic Assetto Corsa. Yeah, by the way, Tom, for your information, this track has only 2 sectors.
Ah, there we go.
You're welcome.
There we go. So
Michelle.
he did go fastest through the first sector.
Yes, he did.
Saved it. We had a moment there, and I was absolutely terrified that Assetto Corsa was going to throw things out, but it's decided to behave, and we are on the grid. We are ready for the first race of the day. Ryan Skywalker lines up on pole with Max Newt 7 alongside. Peter Jones, new entry, in at number 3, just like Peter Andre. Henry Comsey in 4th position joins him in the 2nd row with Michelle Rodriguez and Smells Like We rounding out the 3rd row on the grid. I won't go through all the top 10 because that's going to change by the first corner. Spitslam reckons Peter Jones is going to be in the lead by the first corner. He's going to have to make a titanic effort to get through and pass these two titans up at the front of the Track Titan grid. Did you like the amount of times I said Titan there? It's subliminal messaging. Download Track Titan today. Anyway, back to the racing. 6 red lights on for the 15 drivers on the grid. The red lights go out and away we go, and Ryan Skywalker gets a decent start, but Max Newt 7 seems to have the best start of anyone there. He's coming up well alongside Ryan Skywalker. Ryan Skywalker squeezes him right to the wall, leaves him no room there like Michael Schumacher on Montoya. There's drivers further back getting squeezed to the wall, and Max Newt 7 has to settle for 2nd position. Ryan Skywalker and Max Newt 7 both filtering through into the first corner without much of a fuss. Henry Comsey has managed to get himself up into 3rd position. Peter Jones dropping down into 5th, and Keith Holt up as well. Michelle Rodriguez dropping down positions as well behind Peter Jones. I think Peter Jones had a dodgy start there, and that held up both himself and Michelle Rodriguez from the left side of the grid behind Ryan Skywalker. But as they go across and down the hill once again towards turn 6, it's all very, very square, very, very clean. Jazelski and Diogo Teixeira going side by side. Jazelski getting pushed onto the grass. Diogo Teixeira coming through, and that's Lolliger up the inside of the pair of them. Beautiful move from him there. There's a driver locking up the corners into the corner turn 7 there, and there's a driver around. That is Lolliger there, colliding with Lil Skittle for 14th position, and there's a driver in the gravel making sandcastles, and then that is about the only accident that seems to have happened on track. Ryan Skywalker controlling this race from the front then, and Keith Holt coming into a battle with Peter Jones, who's on the attack, on the offensive as they come down into the chicane arena section. There's bumping. That's touring cars for you, and as they come into the arena section now, Keith Holt is alongside Peter Jones and Michelle Rodriguez sniffing at the pair of them, but Keith has got the inside line. He's going to break deep. He's going to definitely move to the inside. He's going to lock up, and he's almost gone off there. He's making sandcastles on the inside of the arena. Peter Jones moved through. Michelle Rodriguez moves through, as does Dennis Bosman and Le Bandit himself. Keith Holt dropping down from 4th into 8th position. Even make that 9th, but at the end of the first lap, it looks like Ryan Skywalker is doing everything he needs. He's keeping on the black stuff, and he's holding on to 1st position from Max Newt 7, Henry Comsey, Peter Jones, and Michelle Rodriguez. Tom, did I miss anything there?
No, but Peter has just pulled off into the pit lane, so I wonder if he does have a penalty of some sort. I'm a bit confused with what's going on here, why he's pulled off pit lane, because he was in a perfect position to try and make a strike towards the front. It looks like he was just having a drive-through penalty of some sort. I'm not sure what you have to do to pick that up. He, in the track races, but he's rejoined the track right next to Diogo Teixeira and had a little bit of side-by-side collision. He's collapsed. Oh, they're having all sorts of bumping onto each other. They spun out and into the barrier goes Peter Jones. Diogo Teixeira manages to bounce off and keep going, but it's really hitting the Peter's race. He's going to be starting. He's all the way in last place of everyone who's still running.
He's well and truly in the dumps as Peter there, missing out on what would have been a great finish from in his first race, but I think that drive-through will have come from the start. You get a drive-through for a jump start, and that will have explained why himself and Michelle Rodriguez got an awful start. He'll have jumped the start, panicked, stopped, and then got a worse start the second time round, no doubt. So Peter dropping down the order, colliding with Diogo Teixeira. Of course, Diogo Teixeira bounces like a child, always. But the battle at the front rages on. Ryan Skywalker is being kept honest by Max New 7, and of course, Henry Comsey very close behind them. And we know Henry and Max are mates. They're both the Finnish drivers on the grid. And, well, I wouldn't want to say that they're going to work together, but if the opportunity arises, I'm sure Henry will help Max and vice versa. Nonetheless, Ryan still holding that defensive line, still holding on to that lead from Max New 7 with only 0.4 of a second between the pair of them. I'm going to throw to Spitslam now. Have you spotted anything of note further down the grid, mate?
Not so much, but definitely know why Peter Jones got the penalty. He jumped the start and then just missed by like 5 seconds the first set of flights. So that was a mistake by him. And I think he should get the commentator because Maximus is trying to overtake Ryan Skywalker into the first turn.
And a big lock up from Ryan. Ryan's from wide, allowing Max Newt to get back up the inside, which is gifted Max Newt first place. He's got past him, he's got the overtake done, and now Ryan's going to have to get all the hard work done. Ryan gets very excited because Henry Comsey smacks the curb on the inside. It's not what you want to do. Ryan's now getting a bit of position to try and get her Ryan to the next sector. He's got a long, punch a big hole in the air. These cars do. He's going to try and tuck right up underneath that bumper and try and use it to possibly attack into the sweeping right coming up. I think he's going to be a bit too far back to try and make that sort of move, but he's going to be kicking himself for locking up. But then again, we have seen that Max Newt's been struggling with locking up, so this race definitely isn't over, and that turn one is probably going to be a big deciding factor on if Ryan's going to win this championship or not.
It certainly is. That was a major moment in the championship. It was a major moment in this race, and it was just shows how a tiny mistakes can throw everything out of the pram. Ryan Skywalker there dropping down into second position behind Max New 7, and now he's got Henry Comsey to deal with. Not only has he got to try and attack Max New 7 and retake that first position as he needs to for the championship, Henry Comsey is going to want to pass the pair of them. Henry Comsey wants to take on the maximum amount of points he can today to secure that third place position in the championship. So from Michelle Rodriguez, of course, who is just behind him. So we are actually, as we stand in the championship, on the track right now as well. Max 67 from Ryan Skywalker, from Henry Comsey, from Michelle Rodriguez. And there's a driver off in the background. I'm not 100% sure who that is. I think it's Alex Heller. It is. He's gone to cut some grass as Jazelski, Keith Holt and Suski all move through on him. But coming onto the start finish straight, Max Newt 7 taking a normal racing line, not defending too hard from Ryan Skywalker. He seems to think he's safe right now. Henry Comsey flashing his lights behind Ryan. Ryan looks to the inside but thinks better of it. Maybe next lap, mate. It's not going to happen this time round. We all know that Max has been struggling with that first corner, but he has just pumped in the fastest lap of the race so far. So as long as Ryan can stick behind him and keep inside his head, then Max has got the potential to make a mistake, but we know that mistakes coming from Max are becoming increasingly rare as he hones in his racecraft, as he has done all season. He's a what's the word? I don't want to say Titan again. He's a system. That's exactly what he is. But the race continues on, and this is a very honest race, a very close race between a lot of the drivers. A tight battle between Keith Holt and Jazelski, down for 7th position, coming down towards turn 6 right now. But nothing happening there right now. Half a second between the pair of them, and half a second between the guys at the front and Henry Comsey to Ryan Skywalker. They're kind of all dropping Michelle Rodriguez in the dirt right now. Michelle just not got the pace to keep up with him, but I'm sure he'll be watching that with greedy eyes, hoping that someone's going to make a mistake and someone's going to go off.
Yeah, I think Henry Comsey's doing a lot at the minute just to try and put Ryan off and try and force him into a little error, which will allow him to push back into him. The two Finnish drivers are doing their best to finish ahead of him. So, see how many times you say finish in this race as well.
There's a race finish, there's 2 Finnish drivers. I'm finished.
If Ryan keeps locking up his tyres like that, they're not going to make it to the finish.
Terrible, terrible. Who gives us a microphone? Honestly. Here we go then. Once again, the battle returns. It seems like turn 1 is the main overtaking spot on this track, and Ryan once again trying to line up the overtake. There's 0.2 of a second between the pair of them, and the gap is coming down. Ryan gaining and gaining and gaining on Max 7. Max 7 defends to the inside. Ryan looks to the inside, but thinks better once again. He's still just a bit too far back, and he's losing time around that first corner. Perhaps he's going in with a bit of worry into that first corner now he's locked up.
I think he might have just knocked his confidence in it. He's not going to help himself by nailing that inside curve. I know it's difficult. It's the peak of the crest of the corner. It's a little bit off camber. It's not the nicest to turn in for. And it does sort of lull you into that being the line, and then you hit the curb. But it's not what you want to be doing. And I do have to say, when you said these cars do make a big hole, but I don't seem to think that they have quite as big of a slipstream effect as you might think.
No, they really actually are struggling with gaining much time behind them. I think struggling there. Peter Jones dropping down the order, and I think smells like we having a crash. But the battle, I'll come back to that, but the battle at the front still raging on because it's quite tight at the front now. Max seemed to be in a bit of a cork in the bottle between Henry Comsey and Ryan Skywalker. As Henry Comsey looks down the inside of Ryan Skywalker with a minor lock-up on the inside rear left, but not happening this time around. Henry Comsey going well off track there. That's not the racing line. Henry going all over the exit curb, getting 2 wheels on the grass, and now he's dropped well behind Ryan Skywalker as Ryan Skywalker looks to make a move around the outside of Max 7. Max 7 defending well to the inside of the chicane into the arena complex. He's going to try and get the best run he possibly can into the final 2 corners. There's still 6 minutes left in this race, but the battle is raging. Second to last corner now coming around. Ryan Skywalker trying to take the best line he possibly can. Max 7 taking all the curb in the world, and that's not the optimal racing line for Max. This is definitely the opportunity for Ryan Skywalker. Going on to the start finish line, the drivers are closing up. There's less than 0.2 of a second between the pair of them now. Ryan, he's sniffing Max Newt's exhaust fumes. He's tucked right underneath his rear bumper. Max 7 moves to the inside. Ryan Skywalker almost gets put into the wall as he goes side by side, and they bump. They've collided, and Ryan Skywalker's in the gravel. Max 7 still holding on to first position. Henry Comsey through into second. There's a driver off. Oh, and Henry Comsey been put into the wall. Ryan Skywalker up the inside trying to avoid the driver that's static on the track. Puts Henry Comsey in the wall. Who on earth is that static on the track? It's Peter Jones struggling there. He's static on the side of the track, and that's not the place you need to be on his first race. Hopefully he gets moving very soon. If not, he'll be gone from the race. But that is drama up at the front. The gap still remains under a second between Max 7 and Ryan Skywalker, but it's significantly further away than it was before, and Ryan is going to be absolutely distraught seeing that on the exit of the first corner.
Yeah, it's not what you want to be seeing, not what you want to be doing, really. It's a big shame. It's really good racing until that point. But this has all allowed Max to have a bit of breathing room. He's got 5 minutes now to hold that advantage, which is then going to be it's even worse and worse, like for Henry Comsey as he's dropping down the leaderboard. Michelle has taken 3rd, Dennis is up to 4th, and Henry Comsey is down to 5th place. I hope he's not having too much of an issue, and he's managed to keep going again. Yes, he's going. But we should have to see what's gone on there. We'll have to try and find out from after the race. Looking at the front again, Ryan seems to have sorted his braking out, but Max Newton's had a lot of lockups at the minute, and from personal experience, the tyre wear and the flat spots on these that you can get from this do get quite extreme and quite uncomfortable when you're trying to drive it. I think Ryan just needs to sort out his final or second to last corner, because he seems to be a little bit weak there. I know Max Newton hasn't been the best through there, but he needs to get a bit of a better run if he wants any chance of getting ahead. We know he's got the pace to 1 lap pace to really pull an advantage on Max, so he's going to need to pull on everything he's got to try and bridge this gap and get ahead.
Yeah, certainly. And the gap, well, it's significantly further away, but it's coming down every single lap, Ryan, just with the bit between his teeth. But whilst this happens, whilst we watch this gap come down, and I swear we haven't switched away from it, and well, good reason, it's been good racing, but of course the rest of the track, the rest of the grid is still racing away. There's some close battles, and the man that's been following him, Splitslam, what have you seen further down the grid?
There are none. There are no battles. I'm watching this with. I'm just watching the live stream right now. You two commenting. I'm just watching the race with you. Just chilling here.
Well,
like
one
nothing
man.
much. Henry Comsey is now closing the gap to Dennis Bosman.
Yeah, Henry Comsey is a bit between his teeth. Alex Heller was in the wall on the exit of turn 3 there. Unfortunate for him, I think he had a spin all of his own accord. He was battling with Suski, but that's no more when he drops down into 12th position.
Yeah, it's not been a good. I think he was in 8th or 9th, I think.
I think you should commentate the battle between Henry Comsey and Dennis Bosman.
Indeed, we should. Henry Comsey side by side with Dennis Bosman coming down into the arena section. Henry Comsey is ahead and Drew's on the outside line. Oh, but he's had a serious lockup. He's sideways. How did he recover that? With the driftiest of moves on Dennis Bosman up into 4th position. And that was some flair from Henry Comsey, the Iceman, keeping it cool despite the fact his car was entirely sideways. That was an awesome overtake. Well, from the camera perspective, definitely not from a racing perspective.
Yeah, and Ryan has just set the fastest, well, his personal best lap of the race. It's still not really the pace we've been seeing him, but he's really putting back under pressure as he's locking up once again into turn 1, and he's really closed that gap right up. He's 3 tenths behind him now as we go into the first complex levels.
Yep, and we have to remember that we're not going to get a Senna peak. We're not going to get a Senna Prost where they crashed on the first lap. We can't get one of them moments because Ryan needs to win both races to take the win here. He can't just put Max into the wall. Well, he can't just put them both into the wall. He could put Max into the wall, but we might get a bit controversial there. But they are right locked together right now. 0.2 of a second between the pair of them. Ryan is lining up an overtake. Surely it's going to happen. It seems to be just a matter of time. Ryan, definitely the faster driver, but with more mistakes as he locks up once again. They're coming into turn 9. Ryan Skywalker is side by side with Max 27. He looks up at the inside. He locks up. Oh, and he almost made the move stick, but it's not going to happen this time around. He's going to have a look again into turn 10. He looks at the inside. He brakes deep. He's alongside Max 27, but the move still doesn't happen. Or does it? As Ryan Skywalker tries to hold on along the inside, he pushes Max 27 wide. Max 27 is onto the grass, and Ryan Skywalker is still alongside him as he head down the short straight. He's ahead, but Max 27 with a bit of overspeed and the inside line into the arena section is going to try and hold him to the line. Max 27 locks up into the corner. He goes sideways. Ryan Skywalker sideways. They both collided once again. Max 27's in the wall, and Max 27's in the wall. Michelle Rodriguez coming through on Max 27 up into 2nd position, and Max 27's championship defense is fading with these controversial moves from Ryan Skywalker. I must admit that was very, very robust, and Max in 3rd position is not going to take home the full haul points if he can't make a move with Michelle Rodriguez. Surely he can though. Michelle Rodriguez defending into the first corner as Max 27 with a massive amount of overspeed is almost side by side with him as he dives down the inside, but Michelle with a late defense there, and Max collides to the back of him and he almost spins round, and this championship defense is falling apart for Max 27 as he goes sideways on the exit of turn 1. Henry Comsey is now beating down behind him. Ryan Skywalker sounded like he was on the grass in the background of the shot there. Michelle Rodriguez in 2nd position. He's going to be happy to see himself there ahead of Henry Comsey, who's his championship rival. And wow, that was chaotic. I kind of got caught up in that. I need an overview, Tom. What on earth is going on?
From what I was looking at, what I saw, Ryan and Max very hot into the chicane, got a bit locked. Both of them, I think, got a bit lost, a bit loopy on the brakes, didn't really lost a bit of control. Total racing incident, of course. Max Luke got bumped right, Ryan got bumped a bit left. Both of them did a great job to keep their cars pointing the right way. But of course, Max ended up on the grass, so he had no real control. He went straight across the grass and rejoined basically right in front of Ryan, with Ryan leaving Ryan nowhere to go apart from straight through him. So then he did move left to try and go over the curb, but still there was contact made, and then the collision physics with Assetto Corsa, they do sort of gel you together and then bump you off each other a bit. So I think it was just a bit of that happening, and overall it just sent Max came off a bit worse this time round. But as he's done it again, he's locked the tyres up, he's nearly lost the rear, and that's exactly what he did last time. I think he's got actually has not done well with his tyre conservation this race, and I've been noticing him locking up pretty much every major braking zone, and he's definitely fried the tyres. Huge flat spots, but I think the overtake from Ryan was inevitable, and it was just going to be a matter of time, and it just happened to happen in the harsh braking zone of the chicane.
Yep, I think it was one of them. Well, one of them moments we're going to talk about, I'm sure, one of them moments that will go down in the history books. But Ryan Skywalker, most importantly, coming onto the final lap, is in the lead of this race. Max 27 is in 3rd. I don't know what the maths is going to look like after this, to be honest with you. I am lost. Dennis Bosman is battling with Henry Comsey. He was ahead of Henry Comsey before the first corner. He's not anymore. Henry Comsey through into 4th position as they head through into turn 3. The Iceman making moves, trying to hold on to this 3rd position for as long as he possibly can as we enter the final lap, and I think it's going to stay like that because we know that Henry is a little bit faster than Dennis, as long as he can keep it on the track with his slightly damaged car that's been in the wall. But
a similar case with Max Luke, because I think something that we haven't taken into account is just how much it will affect the flat spots on the tyres do have round here. I noticed last week when I was driving the Porsche, when the car was fine and it wasn't flat spotted, I was a lot quicker. As we see again there, Henry really struggling through the fast right there, which has allowed Dennis to get right up alongside him. He sends it up the inside, but Henry left the door open and Dennis got the move done and has snuck up the inside of him. I think Henry's going to try and fight back now, round the inside, holding it nicely, both each other, giving each other good room. And Henry's got a bit of a run there, but he didn't quite have the overlap and drove to the side of Dennis. He's gotten ahead again, but we're going to have a look to see how his tyres are going to hold up in the braking zone here, because if he starts locking up, he's going to have an issue. Dennis has an audacious lunge, and it made side-by-side contact, but thankfully nothing too serious about that, and everyone's survived.
They certainly have. Henry Comsey sticking in 4th position ahead of Dennis Bosman. Max New 7's in the gravel on the exit of first corner. Ryan Skywalker's coming across the line to finish in 1st position. That's all he needs to do. Michelle Rodriguez is finishing in 2nd position, and Max New 7, he recovers in 4th. El Ripo is coming through to finish ahead of him. What on earth is going on? Max New 7's going slow on the start-finish straight. He's pulling into the pits. His car's stopped. His car is struggling. He's dropping down the order. He's in 6th position. Is he going to go lower than this? He's going to have to try and limp across the line. It's all falling apart for Max New 7 in the championship, and he's stopped on the start-finish line. He's going to try and rejoin. I don't know what's going on with his car, but this is throwing the championship into chaos.
I think he's going to try and use this as a drop round now and try and restart from dead last. That's some shady tactics, that is. That is shady tactics.
That is a very interesting tactic from Max 7, and if it is his tactic, it does look like you're right, Tom. That is incredible quick thought from the driver there to finish this race in last and then get the 1st place start for the 2nd race. And surely a 1st place start for Max 7 in the 2nd race is going to secure him a win. And of course, if Max 7 wins this one and gets 0 points, then Ryan finishes where? I don't know how it's going on. But this is amazing stuff in the Track Time Community Race Series. Max Nuke finishing in 13th position there, and of course he's going to start the next race in 1st. Wow.
Yeah, I have to say, is there a rule against that? That's a dodgy thing to do, but it's good thinking for him to set himself up for his title defense.
Quite frankly, I respect it. I don't want to rule against that. That is smart.
That is smart. It is smart. It's shady, but it is smart.
Well, wow. That's a very interesting conclusion to the 1st race. And we've got another one. No time to breathe. We've got another race to go. Max Nuke 7, of course, lining up on the front row of this race. That's where he wants to be. That's where he needs to be, and he needs to finish in 1st. If this championship is going to hold on to his, this is very interesting. Diogo Teixeira is going to start in 2nd position alongside Smells Like We, with Little Skittle and Suski on the 3rd row. Keith Holt and Chzelski on the 4th row. El Ripo, Dennis Bosman on the 5th. Then it's Henry Conti and Alex. What on earth is going on behind him?
I think they're having a good cuddle session there.
Michelle Rodriguez has jumped the start. He's sat sideways. Alex Heller's disconnected. Michelle Rodriguez is surely going to have a drive-through penalty for that. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. We'll see how it goes as the 6 red lights begin to turn on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights on for the final race of the season. In the Track Time Community Race Series, the lights go out. Away we go. Max 7 getting a decent start there. That's all he needed to do. Diogo Teixeira right behind him with another decent start. Little Skill. Smells Like We with an awful start there. And there's a driver off in the background. It's Michelle Rodriguez getting tangled in some more chaos at the back of the grid. That's not good for him at all. Smells Like We and Chzelski going side by side with Keith Holt into the 1st corner there. Keith trying to hang it around the outside, coming off a cropper and dropping down 2 positions.
I think that was Ryan.
He's not even on the leaderboard. Where's Ryan Scout? Ryan Scout is in 2nd position, 12th position. He's backwards on the start-finish straight. Did he collide with Michelle Rodriguez?
I think he did. I think Michelle drove in front of him and they collided.
Drama, so much drama in the Track Day Community Race Series, and Ryan will be crying watching this championship fight fall away from him in front of his very eyes. El Ripo's round on the exit of the 4th corner there. He's going to rejoin in 12th position out of the points, and Ryan has got an absolute mountain to climb this race as Max 7 clears off in 1st position. The only man keeping him honest is Diogo Teixeira, and we know Max is much faster than that driver. Little Skittle and Smells Like We are going toe-to-toe into turn 9. Oh, and they get sideways. Smells Like We up the inside. almost comes up a cropper, but it turns out to be Little Skittle who goes well off, drops 2 positions to Keith Hall and Chzelski. Chzelski going side by side with him now through turn 10. These two drivers are going to hopefully leave a bit of room for each other. And that's Dennis Bosman trying to move through on Little Skittle. Suski now coming behind the pair of them. Michelle Rodriguez flashing the lot of them, trying to get inside their minds and trying to get himself through so he can take home some points and try and secure their position from Henry Comsey. There's a driver well off there. Who's that? That's Suski making sandcastles on the exit of turn 12. And Ryan Skywalker rejoins the race. He's just entered the shot there. He's coming through the arena section. Oh, to be in Ryan's mind right now. I'm sure he's giving some plenty. I'm sure he's dishing plenty out in the voice channel right now.
Yeah, if you just give me a second, I'm going to try and do some championship standing calculations to see where we are in a second. Still, Max Luke is locking up like a madman, and he's got Diego Sepsera not too far behind him, but this is not what you want if you're Ryan right now.
Certainly not. Dennis Bosman there trying to make a move up the inside on Chzelski, but Chzelski's got all the answers for him and moves back through on him to hold on to 5th position for now. But we'll see how long this lasts as Dennis tries to hang a move around the outside. It'll be a serious move from Bosman if he can make it stick, but he certainly can't behind Chzelski. Chzelski holding on to 5th position. We know Chzelski is a decent driver. I've said his name one too many times there and I've started murmuring. So the battle's all settling in as they are now. We're on the second lap of the race. Spitzlam, have we missed anything, mate?
You didn't miss much. Just a cross between Ryan and Michelle.
It was a cross between them two, was it?
Yeah, there was. That's Saski on the ground fast, right?
Yeah, Suski really struggling with this guy. He wasn't doing too bad last race round, but he's not doing very well in this second race, potentially with a few flat spots from a few lockups already, and El Ripper moves through on him for 11th position. So, yeah, thanks for that, Spitzlam. I don't think there's a whole lot going on. This seems to be a pretty tame race. I think everyone's very aware it's the final race of the season. Henry Comsey making a move on Little Skittle. Who's that sideways? It is Little Skittle going well sideways into the chicane there. Michelle Rodriguez now sniffing it a bit there. Chzelski holding on to 5th position still from Dennis Bosman, who's still fighting with him as they battle for that mid-pack points, and Michelle Rodriguez making a clean move up the inside of Little Skittle on the second to last corner. What are you going to say there, Spitzlam?
That's definitely a surprising drift by Little Skittle.
Certainly.
Of course, the second drift that we got as well.
If I can jump in, I have current.
Yes.
So with drop rounds currently taken into effect, I have the current results. Max Newt as of right now, because he was out in the top 10, so he gets no points. Which I think is top 10, so there's points to
Yep, correct. FIA point system.
As of right now, he's on 373 points after drop rounds.
Right.
Ryan Skywalker, after drop rounds, is on 374.
There's one point between them. It's whoever finishes first ahead on track. It really does come down to this race, and, well, quite frankly, when Michelle Rodriguez comes into the pits, I'm not sure what that's for. I'm sure we'll come back to that in a minute. But Max has one hand on the trophy as we stand right now.
As we stand right now, and as quick as the driver that we know Ryan Skywalker is, he's got a 12-second deficit to make up and get past 8 cars. I don't see it coming unless some sort of act of God happens and Max Luke gets smited.
Goodness me.
For Ryan, Spitzlam is here in the commentary box, and his only possible hope who killed him, Michelle, has just retired from the race. Ryan is on his own. You have to get past Henry Comsey, who is friends with the man who is most likely to win the championship. If you are a betting man and you bet on Ryan before the race, I'm afraid you'll almost certainly have lost your money. Thankfully, I bet on Max Newt.
What were the odds like on Betfair?
I don't know. I didn't check it out.
Actually, I got interesting information. Do you want to know who crashed into Michelle Rodriguez at the start?
Who?
Alex Heller.
Le Bandit! Le Bandit! It returns! He returns to alter the championship as we usually do. It's craziness. Peter Jones had a quick release fail in the middle of the race, so that's why he left. That's a shame. But it writes itself. It writes itself. Does the Track Time Community Race Series and Ryan Skywalker's championship hopes? Well, his defense hopes could have been taken away from him by Le Bandit himself. Incredible. Max Luke 7 is doing all he needs to do. Look at the gap he's putting between himself and Diogo Teixeira. 6+ seconds now between himself and second place. Tom's exactly right. If you would put any money on Ryan Skywalker, I'd call you crazy. There's no safety cars in the Track Titan Race Series. We can't have Max Verstappen try and steal the championship away from Ryan Skywalker with a safety car. It's in Max's hands now. It's all on him. We'll see how it goes. I mean, at the end of the day, this is sim racing. We could have some technical problems. We could have a serious incident. There's 8 minutes, for Max 67 to hold on to this, to secure the championship and take home the win in Season 2 of the Track Titan Community Race Series. Behind him, there's a battle for second position. Diogo Teixeira and Smalls Like We are line astern going down the start-finish straight with Keith Holt, Henry Comsey and Dennis Bosman all battling away for fourth position behind. Even then, Diogo Teixeira locks up into the first corner. Smalls Like We looking to capitalise. Ryan Skywalker pumps in the fastest lap of the race on his attempt to get himself, well, he gets something from this race at the very least. Henry Comsey flashing the lights of the Saudi on Keith Holt, but Keith defending like a lion from the Finnish Iceman right there. And Dennis Bosman is well up beside Henry Comsey, giving him grief. All this race he's been giving him grief, but Henry has got the bit between his teeth and he's trying to solidify that third place position. Of course, Michelle is not going to score any points in this race, so I'm pretty sure Henry Comsey has managed to secure third place. Full stop.
Yeah. What I will say is it's the time we've got no fight at the front. The midfield is absolutely rammed. At the time that there's action at the front, the midfield is empty. So this is nice for us to commentate on. But I'll tell you one thing, it's not nice for Ryan Skywalker, who's currently looking to make a move up the inside of Dennis. Dennis leaves the door open, not fighting that one, and just letting him on through. He's just Ryan now up to the fight against Henry Comsey in front. All he can realistically hope for now is a second place and hope there's some sort of catastrophic failure happening with Max Newton's equipment.
I think that Dennis Bosman looked to his left there and saw steam coming out of Ryan Skywalker's ears and thought, yeah, I won't fight that.
He might be colourblind and still Ryan Skywalker's car was red. I can tell you one thing, if his car colour reacted to his mood, it would be red.
It certainly would be, but of course, Ryan Skywalker is putting in a good fight here. He's still got a serious mountain to climb. It does not look possible, but he can certainly take home second position in this race and give us a fight to the end. And I'm so glad it's come to this in the Community Race Series. This championship fight has been beautiful all through the season. These two have been going toe to toe. Ryan coming back into it towards the end. We all wrote him off by race weekend 8, but he's come back into it, and now he's got to pass Henry Comsey, Max Luke's friend. Is he going to be able to do it and get past Keith Holt, who has been driving the widest Seat Leon in the world, defending like Sergio Perez? I'm sure that's a banned word in Tom's eyes, but I won't mention it again. Henry Comsey still flashing the lights of the Saudi, and Ryan Skywalker, well, hoping that he collides or something.
What I will say is if sorry, my train's gone down. Here we go. If Max Newton does end up retiring from this race, he will gain 12 points because another 0 would be as a drop round for him, and that would mean one of his 12 points. I think 4th place finishes will count for him points-wise, which will mean he's still in the lead, and it will mean that Ryan will have to finish second. And either way, if he wants to win this championship, if the worst was to happen to Max Newton.
It's all on the line for Ryan Skywalker here. He's already sending some South African Goonies to Max's house to unplug his internet. But is it going to happen in time? He looks at the inside of Henry Comsey, but it doesn't happen this time round in the second to last corner. He's going to try and get all the overspeed he can out of the final corner. He's well alongside before the start-finish straight even begins. He's through on the Iceman there, and they're going to go side by side, toe to toe down the start-finish straight with 2 drivers ahead of them. Diogo Teixeira and Smells Like We battling over second position, slowing each other down and dropping them into the claws of Ryan Skywalker. Well, the force is with you, Ryan, and the bloody lap times are bloody with you. He's putting in some incredible times as Ryan Skywalker right now. 46.6 when everyone ahead of him is putting in 46.7s, but Max 7 with a 46.1 last time round. There is now over 10 seconds between Max 7 and Duo TCR in second position, just on your screen there. That's a mountain for Ryan to climb, and he really does have to hope for an act of God.
Yeah, he's got to get past Smells Like Meat. It does look like Smells Like Meat isn't going to put up much of a fight. He's not going defensive against him, but he's just holding his line. And there we go. He gets on the brake. And Ryan loses the rear end a little bit there. Still got the gap on the inside here. Surely going to get the move done at this next corner. And then just got to get up the road to catch Diogo Teixeira. I think it's quite smart for Smells Like Meat. He knows that Ryan's faster. So there's no real point in fighting him. He use Ryan to get himself onto the back and maybe get past Diogo Teixeira ahead.
He certainly can hope for that, and Henry Comsey giving Smells Like Wheat even more grief. He's been giving him grief a lot of the race right now as Keith Holt has dropped out of the battle, well and truly down in 7th position now. But Smells Like Wheat looking in his rearview mirrors and seeing it's full of finish. Ryan Skywalker, meanwhile, trying to make the move for second position, looking into the arena section. Diogo Teixeira just taking his normal racing line. That's all he probably can do at this point. We know that Diogo is not quite as fast a driver as Ryan, so the move surely is imminent, as long as Diogo doesn't cause any chaos.
I will have to say, I do wonder what happened with Diogo. In all credit to him, he was very quick at the start of the track title community races. He was quite quick in season 1. And then as we got into season 2 here, he just seems to have dropped off now.
Quite frankly, I don't think, no discredit to Diogo here. He is a fantastic driver and a fast driver in his own right, but I think some other drivers have just come in and leapfrogged him, basically. Some other faster drivers, newer drivers have come through, of course. Diogo here, since season 1, since the early races, the only 2 drivers on the grid since the first race. I actually looked back just before this race. Ryan Skywalker and Michelle Rodriguez have been here since day 1. As Smells Like Wait, oh, he goes off and he collides with Michelle Rodriguez, and Michelle Rodriguez is in the wall on the exit of turn 3. Michelle Rodriguez giving a love tap to say bugger off, and Dennis Bosman now comes into the battle, but that was an honest mistake from Smells Like We there. Got all over the grass on the exit of turn 2, came back onto the track and, well, wheels full of grass, collides with Michelle Rodriguez. Did you spot anything there, Spitzlam?
Yeah, robotics providing the information that Michelle Rodriguez has retired, and Chappers is going a little bit insane.
Chappers is
it wasn't
rooting for Ryan. I think it's Henry.
It's Henry Comsey. I'm talking about Henry Comsey. Michelle Rodriguez retired laps ago. Henry Comsey, oh, 2 wheels on the grass and he's spun around. He's been collected by Keith Holt and he's backwards in the wall on the exit of turn 10. And that looks like it's going to spell the end of that driver's race. The Iceman is in the pits. And yeah, I'm going crazy.
Now who's going to finish third, in the championship? I didn't look at this.
Do the maths. Do the maths.
I think you can do the maths. I do think Henry Comsey. I think Henry Comsey has it secured. He is well far ahead of Michelle Rodriguez.
He had an 86-point lead. Yeah, that's a good place sorted. Sorry. Yeah. Chappers, you made that sound like it was a lot closer than what it actually was.
There was, I do believe there was potential if an act of God happened for Michelle Rodriguez, but he dropped out of the race. So that's the battle for third over. Henry Comsey can come out of the pits happy that even no matter where he finishes, he's going to finish this championship in third and get himself a nice shiny bronze statue. Well, metaphorically. Come the awards night, of course, that'll happen in a week or 2. Check the Discord if you are watching and want to watch that as well. The clock, though, is ticking down, and Ryan Skywalker's championship defense, it's come all season. It's been going for 13 rounds. We've had 26 races for Ryan to bring up a defense to the surging Max 7. The man, the biggest Pingu fan in the world and one of the fastest drivers we've had the pleasure of seeing at the Track Titan Community Race Series. He's coming around in first position. Ryan Skywalker 10 seconds down the road. Max, well and truly, has not even got one hand on the trophy. He's probably got one hand and 4 fingers.
Currently salivating, just dreaming of picking it up at the end of this race. Although he won't actually get an actual trophy, of course, but yeah, he's thinking about this fantastic trophy.
His metaphorical trophy. But, well, it did all come down to this. Max 7 round in the final few corners to start his last lap, his parade lap, if you will. He could take it easy. He's got 10 seconds to burn to Ryan Skywalker. And well, it's been a beautiful battle all season long. We've had highs and we've had lows for these drivers, but when it comes down to it, Max Newt 7 took the lead early on, and he's stuck in the lead. Out of the first 5 races, Max Newt 7 won 4 of them, whilst Ryan Skywalker had to battle for podium positions, and Henry Comsey stole points away from him in third position. We knew it was going to be hard for Ryan to fight this championship back come today, and we knew it was going to be a mountain for him to climb. And come into the second race, there was a bit of a glimmer in your eyes when you realised after the maths that, well, Ryan was 1 point ahead coming into this race, but we saw what happened. It was a chaotic start. It was a simple collision, and it's a recurring theme in this online races that just a bit of chaos causes all the difference. And Ryan Skywalker has dropped down. He's in second position. He's done all he possibly could given the circumstances, but it's not going to be enough. And I can't see Max Newt 7 throwing it away now. He's coming through turn 9. He's still pumping in decent lap times despite him being so far ahead. I mean, I'd take it easy if I was him, but he's not. He never has taken it easy all season long, and he's in the lead of this race, and he's in the lead of the championship, and he's a deserved winner, I think.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job all year. He's done the consistency, he's had the pace, and he's turned up when it's really needed. He's gotten unfortunate at times, as you do in these, especially with the reverse races, and likely to cause carnage. Unfortunately for Ryan, we didn't get the Titanic battle at the final race. He did get caught up right at the start, which was highly unfortunate for him, but he's done a good job. He's climbed himself back up to second place, and he's pulling a little bit of time out of him, but I don't see him taking 10 seconds in the next 100 metres. I have to say, as Max Newt comes across the line to be your overall championship winner of Track Titan Community Races Season 2.
What a winner, and what a way to win in style, 10 seconds ahead of his championship rival Ryan Skywalker, who does come across the line to secure that second place position. He's not salty like Eric was last season around. And, well, he finishes this season with his head held high. He did everything he could in the first race, and it was just absolute bad luck that dragged it away from him. Diogo Teixeira finishes on the podium today, which I do think is his best finish this season, so well done Diogo for holding on to that position right to the end. Dennis Bosman in 4th position, with Chizelsky finishing in 5th. Keith Holt finishes in 6th, gets somersaulted by Little Skittle, Smells Like We in 8th position, Suski in 9th, and then your man in 3rd position doing donuts on the start finish. It's the Iceman. He's finished in 10th, but he's 3rd in the championship, and he's going to be taking home a trophy come the awards night. And there we go. That's Track Titan Community Race Series Season 2. Well, it's concluded. That's it. The story's written. The championship is decided. Your winner is Max Newt 7. Let's see if we can get him for a chat.
I think we do need to get him in and give him a good old congratulations.
Let's see if we can get him on. Max Newt 7 hopefully joins us. Can you join us?
Yeah, well, we just got
here he is.
filter on in here.
We'll just drag him in. Max Newt, I'll just drag him in. I asked permission, but I haven't got an answer. But here he is. He's the championship winner. Season 2 is yours, Max. You drove so well all season. It almost slipped away from you at the end, but that last race, and I have to say, that tactic at the end of the first race was very smart. How did you think of that on the spot?
I don't know. I was calculating that 3rd is not bringing me very much points, so I was trying to get the pole for the 2nd and get more points.
Well, it was a fantastic move on your part. You absolutely smashed through it. You won the last race by over 10 seconds. And, well, the metaphorical trophy is yours. You are our champion. Well done, mate.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tom, any questions for our winner, our championship winner?
What was going through your head when Ryan put in that qualifying lap that was so far ahead of yours?
I known already that Ryan was very fast here, so I wasn't surprised, but I was just trying to get the 2nd in the qualifying.
Yeah, you did all you need there. You managed to get 2nd, and we have to I do have to ask about that it didn't come down to it. I was a little bit worried that the championship would be decided by it, but that overtake from Ryan in the first race, did you think that was very fair?
There was some touching on both sides, but I think it was in my fault, the later part, so I think it was fair.
Well, that's the rear racing goes, and thankfully, you are our championship winner after all the battling, and well, it's come down to this. Well done, Max, and I'm sure we'll be speaking to you more in the next season. But for now, and until the awards night, we'll see you later, mate.
See ya. Thanks.
That's Max Newt 7, your championship winner. No sign of Ryan Skywalker.
I will extend my hand to get him to join.
See if you can. In the meantime, I'm going to actually steal Henry Comsey whilst we wait for Ryan. Henry, sorry, I've just completely stolen you. It sounds like you're in the middle of a conversation, but you have been nabbed. You are the man that finishes off the podium, third place. How would you feel?
Good and bad, because I know I have more than this. I can fight for the championship, but too much bad luck this season. So
you really did.
Time.
You really did have a lot of bad luck this season. You had a lot of bad luck in that last race alone. You got put in the wall, didn't you, on the exit of turn 3? You had a fair few bumps in the first race. I think it's just one of them, but are you going to come back fighting for next season? You think a championship is on the cards?
Yeah, it will be when I get better PC.
I love that.
Thankfully, all the Bitcoin miners are selling off their graphics cards at the minute, so you should think about you could pick one of them up.
I have a laptop.
Yes. Yeah.
Heroic.
All right.
Heroic effort, to be fair. Heroic effort.
Yeah.
No,
But
well done, though, mate.
Thank you.
And
do my best next season.
I was going to say, yeah, next season you'll do your best. But for now, you're going to have to settle for that shiny third place trophy, or at least an imaginary trophy.
Again.
Again. But you did very well all through the season, and yeah, I don't think I've got any more questions after this race. You just had a lot of bad luck. Tom, have you got anything?
No, Ryan doesn't seem to be getting in contact with me to come join. So what I will say is a fantastic job there, Henry. Did a brilliant job getting third place, and then gives you a good position, sort of try and springboard yourself into a championship win next season.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Spit Slam, any questions for Henry before he goes?
No, I just want to say great racing. Congratulations for third place and keep it on, youth. Maybe
Yeah.
you can win the next one.
Yeah, I try.
Awesome. Right, good to speak to you, Henry. We'll see you at the awards night.
Yeah, bye.
There we go. Henry Comsey, your third place man. And yeah, by the sounds of it, Ryan, understandably rather upset and not wanting to talk to us right now. I'm sure he's going to be in better spirits come the awards night. I'm sure we can cheer him up with some chaos and, of course, some fantastic entertainment from Michelle Rodriguez, who is set to sing. It's been noted he will be singing. So if you want to join, if you're watching this and you want to join us, join the Discord or get someone to join the Discord. You can get a link. We'll be dressing up in our fanciest suits and we'll be presenting the awards come next week. But that's
get the
it.
bin bag out again.
The tyres will be in the background again, don't you worry. They're still not
Let's
been
go.
sold. But yeah, that's it from Zandvoort. That's it from the Track Titan Community Race Series Season 2. Your winner is Max Newt 7. Second place, Ryan Skywalker. Third place, Henry Comsey. In the championship, what a championship it's been. It's been hard fought. 13 more weeks of action to come, and 13 more weeks of good action. There's a new system in the votes. If you check the Discord, Keith detailed them all in the Community Race channel earlier today. We've got week 1 open wheelers, and then week 2 street GT3 prototype. They're all going through different kind of categories each week, so a nice varied one. We won't be seeing the same kind of cars week in, week out. It should be a real test of driver skill. Who can master every single car type? It's going to be like, I don't know, it's like a Titanic kind of championship of every car. I'm looking forward to it. Week 9 as well, karts. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm looking forward to next season, evidently, and that'll be back on Tuesday next week. So we'll see you there. But from Zandvoort, and from myself, Adam Chapman, from Spitzlam and Tom Jones in the commentary booth, that's the end of season 2, and we'll see you later.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, actually, last thing before we go. It's the Formula Hybrid 2017 at Spa for the next championship. See you later.